Well, actually, it looks like gameplay updates are not fully done yet. We got another pitch notes today that does have some gameplay changes in it. The main thing being them addressing the 95 depth issue where the teams are pressing like crazy constantly all the time. EA did make some changes today to that, and the update's not out yet, but it's going to come out sometime soon. There are some other changes too that we will go and look at, but also it appears EA might just be testing a free-to-play model for Ultimate Team here, and we got some news about that today as well that I'm not surprised by, honestly, that we're going to move in this direction here very soon, I think. But we'll go and look at that. There's an Evo leak, I think, as well. There's a couple other things to talk about. If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to MMOXP.com. There will be a link in the description down below. They are the cheapest and the safest option. You can use my code JFC at checkout for an 8% discount. We get guaranteed team of the season packs today, I'm pretty sure, in SBCs, and we'll talk about that too. But as always, thank you guys for watching. And I do want to say with content right now, one of the biggest criticisms is that there isn't a team of the season or team of the week requirement yet. It's just team of the week players that are the requirements, and right now they're not in packs. So right now you have a requirement on all these SBCs and you can't even pack them. There's no continuous supply of them. However, of course, there is this SBC here where you can get one guaranteed. I think that when this SBC expires in 2 days, we'll probably start to see the TOTS requirement be in these SBCs. So I think we only have maybe a couple more days here. And obviously we've talked about how investments for team of the season cards right now, low rated cards might be a really good idea if they're discard or right around discard, because they're going to be requirements eventually. It's just a matter of when, not if, they will be in these SBCs, and there might be one today for the TOTS guaranteed upgrade. Honestly, this might be the first day, or they might wait until the 84 plus team of the week upgrade expires, but we should be getting that today. Usually we've seen it on Wednesdays in previous FIFAs, where Tuesdays would be the off league and then Wednesdays would be the main league for team of the season guarantees, which still could be the case here, but they moved this campaign mix pick up by a day, and we don't really know why they did that. We're assuming it's because we could see a team of the season pick potentially. I don't know how much truth there actually is in that, but one thing I want to bring up as well is that there is a chance with, all the stuff we have out right now, and we go and look over here at the mixed icon pick, right? There's a chance this year we do get a repeatable TOTS pick. Like, there is a chance of that, non-zero, because it's our first year of repeatable icon picks and hero picks. I mean, why not make a repeatable team of the season pick when they're not very good, right? We know the icon picks are not very good. There's so many team of the season cards that are not going to be that exciting. Like, we talked about how there were basically 4 out of 5 team of the season cards were under 100k within 10 minutes. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see that, and if we do see that and TOTS players are a requirement, maybe in say 2 of the 3 squads, because they're not going to have it, so you can just exchange the one you just got, I would guess. Say it's in 2 of the 3 squads where you need a team of the season card, that also would bump up team of the season prices again in terms of fodder, right? So I think it's a really good idea to try and look at that, because I think there's going to be a time this year where TOTS cards are like 30k or maybe say mid 20s. But okay, so let's go on to the title of the video now, and let's go look at this update that dropped today. EA tweeted this out very early in the morning yesterday, and there are some gameplay changes in it. So I'm going to read through the gameplay changes, and then I'm going to talk about some stuff after, because some of it is kind of confusing. Not to be negative already about it, but let's read through this. So, okay, firstly, significantly decrease the amount of defensive pressure AI teammates can apply when using an aggressive defensive approach with 91 plus depth defensive tactics. So right then and there, that one bullet point, they will decrease the defensive pressure on 95 depth. The second one here is increase how long team press can be active for from 20 seconds to 45 seconds. And you might be asking, okay, why are they buffing team press when they want to nerf press? The thing is press will now be nerfed on most people's approaches, their standard defensive approach. So they want to actually be able to buff it when they need the ball back. Say it's 4-3 in the 88th minute, you switch to team press. They want you to be able to actually still have a little bit of team press, but less so when you don't select team press. And then also they are now increasing how quickly stamina is depleted when you use team press. This can result in up to 2.6 times faster stamina drain during excessive use of team press. Because obviously if you have no press at all, it's going to be hard to get the ball back from opponents who are trying to waste time, right? So there needs to be kind of, like this says here, a team press sort of mechanic that you can trigger that is very risk reward, because your players run out of stamina quickly, but they won't just be doing it automatically on your standard depth, whatever you're running. So that all makes sense to me. And then the career mode stuff down here, they did fix the issue where saves were being deleted. So, I mean, thank God. And there really wasn't much else here. But what was kind of confusing is that, I'm happy to see this being a thing now, right? We're in late April and we're getting gameplay changes. That's not something that we usually see. So I appreciate that. And I'm sure you guys do too. It's interesting to me though, that why didn't this happen sooner? To me, if they thought this was an actual issue, we've had the same gameplay now for 4 months, right? Literally 4 months. I guess maybe it's about 3.5 months, 3.5 months or so. This is something that could have been fixed so long ago. This is why, to me, it shows that I'm not sure they have like a full plan, and they don't also know what we really like about gameplay. And this might be a total reach, of course, right? I'm well aware of that, but this has been a complaint for 3 months, right? I would say at least 3 months. A few weeks post the update was when we started to like see some of the problems, and I thought because we didn't see any gameplay updates since then, really, that we wouldn't see any more for the rest of the year. But no, we actually do, and then they just do this, right? None of the bounce back stuff has been fixed here. No Trivella nerf. The green time Trivellas are still ridiculous without Trivella Plus, without any Trivella playstyle at all. No real playstyle balancing changes, anything like that. Defensively, offensively, like I thought with nothing going on, they wouldn't be focused on this game anymore. But clearly, I guess they have been this whole time somewhat, and then they nerf this here, which I hopefully helps some stuff and maybe makes the bounce backs a little bit better and the tackling a little bit better when there's not constant pressure. I definitely think that can help, but it's just more fascinating that, okay, so you have been working on this gameplay the whole time, and what made you just become dissatisfied now with it when there's other problems too? And I mean, I'm happy, like don't get it wrong, like I'm glad they're making this change here. I'm sure you guys are too, but I think it's more so just like, what is their plan, right? I thought they were confident with the gameplay. Now it seems like they're not, and they're making changes in May, basically. You know, what's next year's gameplay look like? Just some interesting stuff to think about. But if I had to guess, I would probably say this is the last gameplay update we'll see, but this has been a different year this year. Things could change, and it might just be as simple as there's not very many employees still working on this gameplay, so it takes a really long time to make changes, and that's why it's been so long, and they have been working this whole time. There's just not that many of them. It might be as simple as that, but for example, you know, the speed boost right now, if you go to the high-end levels of FUT champs, it's just speed boost v speed boost, really. Just things like that, you know, it makes you wonder why we haven't been seeing changes really for the last 3 months, and now all of a sudden we're seeing them again. Let me know what you guys think, of course. Still, hopefully it's going to be a good change. I mean, I think there's no way it can't be at least somewhat okay, but EA have had a problem with actually nerfing pressure stuff throughout history. Throughout FIFA history, it seems like press gets nerfed like once a year minimum, because press needs to be nerfed almost every year, so not really sure how they end up fucking up like every year, but hopefully this does help here. And okay, we have this new evolution leak, though. Let's just get to this one next, because we have a couple of them. So the first one is a striker evo that's acrobat plus, quick step plus, and low driven plus. 4 weak foot, 5 skills, stat boost, character SBC can be used, still max 9 regular play styles because of the same bug we've been talking about. So obviously, you know, all of us were hoping that, okay, acrobat plus isn't first and it's like last. If you end up with the card with 0 playstyle pluses, they'll get acrobat plus as the third one. But in the replies down here, we've got, please don't tell me it's acrobat first. FUT Police Leaks replies with the sad emoji, and there's the gif of Kermit falling off of a 6-story high rise. And FUT Police Leaks does also say here, no, kind of a bad evo, so that's not great. But yeah, there you go. The more interesting one, though, is actually a FUT Agent teaser, which he's always kind of mysterious. So FUT Agent has this tweet here. Somebody replied to him saying, last year we had evos for champs tots players that gave +1. What about this year? He replies saying, as if him saying, yeah, he probably thinks it's going to happen, or he has it leaked right now. Every time he says this, it pretty much comes true. So I'm going to guess that we are going to see this year again. I thought this reply was kind of hilarious, though. Look at this expletive, trying to act mysterious and nonchalant for engagement. You'll be irrelevant soon, so enjoy it while it lasts. Damn, okay. The people have turned on FUT Agent. It's a great day to be alive. Shout out Travis Tritt. But if you don't remember what that evo was, there were certain FUT champs reds that you could improve. So for example, this Bissek card last year, which was insane. I think people got to use a +2 on him because they dropped 2 different ones and he fit into both of them. They're supposed to be for your red player picks that you get that aren't maybe very good, and you can upgrade them. So that's a very nice evo. So I hope we end up seeing those again, and we probably will by the looks of it. But okay, there's this news by Mateus Gamer here, and it's actually kind of a big deal. So EA is making Ultimate Team free in certain regions in FC25 Showcase. So this is what EA said here. In assessing market availability, we consider and incorporate player feedback to inform our launch rollout. PR slop soup garbage. We're excited to see the initial response from players on PC across these rollout markets as we introduce Football Ultimate Team to EA Sports FC25 Showcase. So what FC25 Showcase is, if you don't know, it's just a game you can download for free that has like revolving teams that you can use in kickoff, basically. So it's like a demo with revolving teams is like the whole point of it. But I think it does have a few more features than the demo, so it's a little more than that, but it's pretty close to that. And now they're going to add Ultimate Team to the showcase in certain regions. So this is, to me, is just a whole test of the future. I think we're going to see Ultimate Team be free to play eventually. I think it might take 3, 4, 5 years, but it's going to be a matter of time until it is free to play. If you want to play career mode and the other stuff and clubs and stuff, you're probably going to have to buy the game, but just strictly Ultimate Team, I think that's going to be free at some point, because this is the first time we've ever seen them do this. And if they're dipping their toes into this, they're trying to see what it's going to look like, how much money they're going to make based off of a loss in game sales versus the Ultimate Team microtransaction spending. And if they see that they actually make quite a bit of money from this in those select regions, we're going to see this on a global scale very soon. But if they see that it's like maybe not that much different, or maybe that it's actually less, we're not going to see it change much, I don't think. But I do personally myself think it's going to be a matter of time until Ultimate Team is free to play. But this basically is proof that they are testing this now, and if it goes well, it's going to be free to play in a matter of a couple years, honestly, which I think would make many of the microtransactions a lot more acceptable. I think the paid season pass becomes way more acceptable. If you can play this game for free, basically by being a free-to-play player, and you literally are a free-to-play player, because technically speaking, you are a $70 player instead of a more than $70 player if you are a quote-unquote free-to-play player nowadays. I think it just makes a lot of microtransactions in the game a lot more reasonable, I suppose, which, by the way, the gambling shit, E for everybody, that will never be reasonable, but you know what I'm trying to say. Okay, FGZ News, by the way, it's Fraud Zone, and he's back again, and I'm showing you this because this is hilarious to me, that FUT Zone has not leaked shit in forever, right? Because it doesn't have any sources. So today he decided to leak something, and guess what it is? It's Virgil van Dijk in the team of the season. Trust me, it's legit. I just think it's absolutely hilarious that the shtick is managing to, like, keep up, because, brother, we know you don't have sources. Stop trying to convince us you do. We don't give a fuck. Just tweet out the news. Just don't act like you'd have sources and lie to everybody and tweet out Virgil van Dijk's coming in Prem team of the season for your first leak of the year after you got exposed last year. Like, I mean, just quit. Just for your own good, just quit doing this, please. But okay, we got a couple Player of the Month nominees here. Serie A, we got Sule, Diao, McTominay, Endoy, Ondrejka, and Rovella as Serie A Player of the Month nominees. I looked at the tracker and I didn't see anything on there, so I don't know the goals and assist tallies. If you guys know who's the favorite to win this, is it Matthias Sule? Then let me and us know in the comments. And also there's the Bundesliga one. That's right here. We got Elise, Anton, Kimmich, Koch, Weiser, and Doan. And he's got Kimmich in here, so I'm not sure if he's the favorite or not. But if you guys do know, then let us know in the comments. And the most viral tweet of the day today was this one with 15k likes and 700k views. Waldy says, in FIFA 15, the card on the left was extinct at 80k and was almost impossible to buy. This year, the card on the right, which is this one, is worth 50k and barely anyone uses him. And the replies mainly are kind of saying the same thing, like, wish we could go back to less promos, play styles destroy the market. And people who weren't around then are asking, like, why was this card expensive at all in the first place? And the thing was, it was obviously fundamentally different back then, because you could actually use this player and do things with him, actually play with him in game, and he was pretty good. Like, he could make passes that a player nowadays with 70 passing could not make, right? The difference in stats was much less than it is nowadays, so that's why this card was very rare, and also it actually could be usable, right? This card was genuinely usable back in the day, and now this card, there's just so many of these guys that are the exact same as this that the hype just isn't there as much, and that's why this card is 50,000 coins. And like we talked about the replies, mostly are saying the same thing here, like play styles have killed the game, or they really need to cut down on promos. And the problem with that is that if they do that at this point, I don't exactly know how the community would respond to that, because we've had promos every single Friday for like 3 or 4 years now. If we go back to how it used to be, I don't really know if the new players in this game would like that. I think the new players expect promos every Friday, right? We come from a time when there weren't promos every Friday, so we can go back to that. But some of these newer players, I'm not sure they can go to that because they've never experienced that in the first place. So I just don't think, unfortunately, as much as I think we should try and find a solution to some of this stuff and why things are a little bit more boring or not as rewarding as maybe they once were, I don't know if promos going away in terms of them being a less total number of them is even a realistic outcome or solution here. So I don't know if that's something we should really dive into too much, as much as I think, yeah, it would probably make things more rewarding. I just don't think it's possible for it to happen. But hey, I mean, never say never. You never know what could happen. I've talked about the market a bunch the last couple of days here. I'm not going to say too much other than, yeah, reminding you from the start of the video, I think team of the season's at 18k is a good buy, actually. I think they'll go to mid-20s at minimum if something comes out with a required in it. They could go to 30k, honestly. Last year, I think there was a point where they were mid-30s. So yeah, why not? And the risk is like barely there. You could lazy sell these at 15k no matter what, at worst case scenario. So I don't think there's any way that you don't like buying those come a week's time from now, probably. But okay, D Doza says this: the pack weight is perfect. You can pack a ton of the fodder cards, but the top end are very hard to pack. So you get the flair and stay happy. This is how every every promo should be. In fact, I think there should be a best of added to team of the year. So when you don't pack a team of the year, you still get excited. So oftentimes in comment sections, you'll see a lot of complaints, but rarely will you see like, I really like this. This is actually perfect. So anytime there is that, I kind of like talking about it. I think you make a pretty decent point here that most people want the top end cards to be pretty hard to get because you want it to be rewarding when you get one, but also you don't want pack weight to be hot and utter dog shit. So, we might be onto something there, honestly. I think the thing with the pack weight discussion always is going to be, if you've had good pack weight recently, you're probably going to say, I like it. And if you haven't had good pack weight recently, you're going to say, yeah, this sucks. I want it to be better. So it's very up to the individual how much people like the pack weight or not based on their own experiences. But yeah, I just wanted to know what you guys thought about that comment. We've got Alex Amaya. I check to watch your videos before I text my girlfriend when I wake up. Is that bad? Sweat emoji. No. If I don't come first, then you're not a real fan, okay? I come before your girlfriend. And Martin Clausen, wow, really hard to make money. Really, buy when Europeans are sleeping, sell when Europeans are awake. Repeat. And honestly, that is one of the main trading methods that many traders have used for a long time in terms of day-to-day trading. It's, okay, I'm in the United States Central Time. If I buy cards at about, let's say, 7 or 8 p.m. my time, you can find a ton of deals and then sell in the morning at maybe 7 or 8 a.m. my time. 12 hours later, you'll make coins every day if you want to do it that way. Now, finding the cards to do it is harder than it used to be because there's just not as many people buying cards in the market as there used to be anymore. So the cards don't fluctuate as much as they used to, but that is one of the better ways to trade if you want a little trading tip there. If you're in Europe and want to beat that, then obviously it's very obvious when you're in the middle of the night, you buy shit, and then right when it gets something like the morning time-ish, about let's say, I don't know, maybe 12 to 1 your time, something like that is a nice time to start looking at selling cards. And one thing you could say is positive about this team of the season is that a lot of you guys left comments on what cards you liked in team of the season so far, and there was a ton of different ones. I saw Bireth, I saw, Madri there, Mateo, Chawinga, Jonathan David, like a ton of different ones, and I'm guessing that they're all probably pretty damn good. So maybe that's a nice thing for this team of the season, is that all the cards are pretty damn good. But I don't know. Hey, you know what? Thanks for being here so much. Appreciate you all every single day who watch, and I love all servers. Peace.